DPS is all, and honestly, it's the most competitive lane to even be in because if you're not doing damage or something like that, people have something to say like almost instantly. Even whether you don't hear it, it's in probably a league's voice chat. Even if it's one person in your league, someone's talking shit, bro. Like always, you know what I'm saying? So, DPS is a role you got to be humble in because you know if you're a DPS trying to help other DPSs get better, then kudos to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you're a DPS who's gloating on damage and all this stuff, and you have this capability over somebody, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I don't know where your position is in the DC community. It's good to be competitive. I mean, people talking shit. It's shit. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? You better, that's why you practicing to be better at DPS, to hold your shit, to be able to hold your feet. No one can, even if you're not top, even people know that you are a good DPS, bro, and they know about you, bro. It's like you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's like boxing or UFC type deal. Like, even if you're in a raid, I mean, and honestly, being competitive as a DPS helps the whole team. If a run is bad, if the tank fucked up on his pulls and stuff, they disband and retry the whole run. And that's a good tank in my opinion. And an old like a tank that's getting new to tanking would fuck up probably like not pull right and still want to go through with all these mistakes. If it doesn't feel right from the beginning and you're trying to get good at the game, you should probably disband and requeue because you know what you did wrong. And it's like you don't want to practice bad habits. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Jessica Rabbit, bro. She be doing videos and she just be in there tanking Grundy by herself. That is like even to just go through that as a fire tank. Fire tanking is up there when it comes to like face tanking, in my opinion.
I forgot to tell you I'm a fiend. Hit me with a dose of dopamine in my dreams. I'm the type of nigga who be always smoking green.
Alright, DC, Mad Gang, you know the word. What's going on, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm already starting it with the you know what I'm saying shit. But that's just me. I don't even know. Y'all made me conscious of that, bro. I can't believe this. Um but anyway, y'all, we got a very interesting video. There's a lot of players coming back to the game, bro. There's a lot of players who know stuff about the game but didn't even realize that the game low-key kind of changed. And that's the cool thing about this community is that we kind of like we're building this game in a different light, you know what I'm saying? It's like the devs add something and we just tear it and rip it to shreds and we make it something, you know what I'm saying? So I want to discuss the roles in DC. Every MMO has a role like tank, healer, troll, and stuff like that. But DC's roles, we kind of made it into something. I mean, you got battle tanks, battle healers, buff trolls, about to be buff healers when these, this new blue lantern ring drops and stuff like that. So as you can see, like there's a lot more added to the table, and this is basically what your role says about you, and kind of breaking down the roles. If you're looking to play a role, don't even know what power to choose, bro. You know what I'm saying? The roles will get you there on what type of player you want to be in DC. So there's not really a video out there talking about this. I mean, it's kind of like cut and dry. Like tank is tank, healer is healer, troll is troll, but all of them have a purpose to play in each raid or alert or duo, like whatever the fuck, because all the content from 15 years is built different to where like you got the labyrinth of souls where you need the troll to stand on this spot, the tank to stand on that spot, DPS, healer, just to get to the next area. As you know that this game has been built off of this system for 15 years. So I'm going to give my wow, look at this. Casey, look, if I decline this, you're gonna realize that I'm doing a video. Apologize. I'm in the flow state right now. So basically me explaining this. Let me tell him. I don't wait. Hold on. Yo, I'm an active nigga, bro. I get on. It's like, yo, deploy him immediately. You know what I'm saying? This happens all the time. You have no idea. Okay, hold on. This is like, this is my life in DC now. It's like, it's not, if it's not the league, it's tells, it's all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. So yeah, let's just jump into it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think y'all get where I'm coming from, right? All right, your tanks, bro. We're gonna start off with tanking, bro. Honestly, tanking is like the spearhead of the group. It's the only player that's going to make the first dent in whatever content you're gonna make. Now, a tank's job is to make that dent strong enough. Like, to where the rest of the group and their I was gonna say gender roles and their roles, can just open up that dent into like a wide fucking, like a just rip it to shreds, right? And based off of, honestly, with battle tanking, you need to lock down tanking before you even fuck with battle tanking. Anything battle whatever is only should be used if the DPSs aren't hitting strong enough. And you know that it's a burn problem. As a healer, as a troll, as a tank, you realize that you can help in that department, and you still have enough knowledge to be whatever your role to be to keep up with that. That is your main job, right? Without you, shit don't move. When the tank leave in DC, it could be a long ass raid. 30, 40 minutes, disband maybe, so if you feel like you can handle responsibility, you know what I'm saying, tanking is just like that's why I like it, because I like being, like my sub role as a healer, I like being dependable to somewhat of I mean, every role is dependable, but what I'm saying, like if you can lock down tanking and you're remembered as a tank and everybody wants you to tank their raids when a new DLC drop because they don't want no fails, they want to farm and shit like that, you got your shit under control. Yes, tanking is for you. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why I say spearhead in the first dent, because like the first raid, no ads, no bosses was touched. Sometimes if you notice, if a run is bad, if the tank fucked up on his pulls and stuff, they disband and retry the whole run. And that's a good tank in my opinion. And an old like a tank that's getting new to tanking would fuck up probably like not pull right and still want to go through with all these mistakes. If it doesn't feel right from the beginning and you're trying to get good at the game, you should probably disband and requeue, because you know what you did wrong. And it's like you don't want to practice bad habits. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Jessica Rabbit, bro. She be doing videos and she just be in there tanking Grundy by herself. That is like, even to just go through that as a fire tank. Fire tanking is up there when it comes to like face tanking, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I should probably do another video on like what each power of the role can make you feel like, or I could do that now, probably just briefly. Yeah, fire tanking, in my opinion, really great with face tanking. Being able to rely on yourself to be, what I'm saying, of standard and raid and stuff like that. And you gotta realize having a healer just helps the tank like much more, with shields, controls with shields. So the tank can stay alive. That's your position to even battle tank in the first place, is because you know that the survivability in this raid is good and the damage is down. You know what I'm saying? Because if the damage isn't good in a raid or anything, it makes more mechanics. It's more call outs, and you're not gonna get it every time. There's gonna be someone that's gonna be down and someone else is gonna be down trying to pick up someone that's down. So it is like, if you're building a league or whatever the fuck, when you get these roles, they really gotta be peak, bro. You can't just be inviting people because, you know what I'm saying, it's like, I mean, yeah, they're trying to get stronger, but you're gonna get stronger as a team. You know what I'm saying? Like Naruto, Team 7, all that shit, bro. Like, like there's a bunch of people that have their flaws, but y'all are stronger as a team. Let's see, earth tanking, you tank with straight mitigations. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of like you're kind of you're the fact that I'm a 477 tank. I was 472, but I was tanking B&E, and I had over a million defense. You know what I'm saying? And just adding to mitigations and everything, being able to have a one shot do like at least 50,000 damage because you got, like, let's say 3 gemstone shards and you just have 75% mitigations. It's a brilliant number to see. You know what I'm saying? When you I ain't gonna lie, earth tanking is kind of up there. That's the it makes with just mitigations. Atomic has a basically everything. Like, it has mitigations, self heals, control resistance when you have the aura on, the strongest fucking supercharged shield in the game. You kind of tank with timing and windows type deal. So that's the dent it makes. Ice tanking is like all timing. You can't panic with an ice tank. You don't want to burn your shields when you've taken a heavy hit. You know what I'm saying? It like ice tanking takes a lot of. I would say ice tanking takes skill. People say like, you're ice tank, you're not supposed to die, but it is a time thing. You should know your rotation. You should know what shields last longer than other shields, and and cycle and stuff like that. Am I missing anything? Rage is all, you have the most fun with rage. The dent it makes is really big, because rage is able to get in there, group everything up, and just get all that healing back and stuff. know. So I think rage makes the biggest dent when it comes to like, like you really can't go. I hope y'all can see where I'm coming with this. If y'all ever ran with these powers, you realize that's the dent that when I say dent, I really mean like a fucking dent. You know what I'm saying? The dent that it makes at first for the team to just fucking, to rip that shit open. No diddy. You know what I'm saying? I would say rage is pretty much up there, just on survivability. And like I say, battle tanking is all like that's honestly it's cool to do, but I mean, if you're trying to be a god shouldn't die. You know what I'm saying? You sacrifice a lot of defense trying to get you know what I'm saying, to do damage, put numbers on the board. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even a scoreboard change. So that's why I said, if the damage is down and you realize it, that's the only reason why you should even have that. If you're trying to do that, I personally don't do it, but you know what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised if the game gets updated a lot more to the point where what I'm saying it's more viable. All right, so that's tanking. You know what I'm saying? That's what tanking is for me. It'd be cool if other people did these videos as well and kind of explain what the role means for them, because it's kind of like, it's everyone's perception. That's why you're a good DC player. That's why you play it differently, because you understand a little differently. And y'all haven't even seen me as these roles. I play every role. I'm really a support player. I just started DPSing. So it's like I've dabbled with everything. If you play with holidays long enough, you'll know that I was a troll on this bitch, tank on this bitch, heal on this bitch. You know what I'm saying? But controller, controllers are usually they are your playmakers. Your shot creators. You know what I'm saying? Chess players type deal. Only because they're like they oversee the board. They probably have the most skill points. They are ninja'd or invited to most runs. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, like you will see more of the same name of trolls than DPSs and tanks. Trolls are very consistent. Easiest to get, like what's the word? Like to grind or farm gear, they're always in runs. You're supposed to foresee mechanics, people that drop, all those things. If you feel like you can, see the board differently, you already know. Like when you go to the first ad set, let's say the tank created this dent, DPSs are down, healers down. You're supposed to kind of know how this raid is gonna go. You should already know how first boss is gonna go, second boss is gonna go, third boss. You know what I'm saying? And as a troll, you're supposed to, if things do fail and you're right about that, you're supposed to fill that gap. There's a lot of blame that says, like who, like is it the tank's fault, the troll's fault? It depends on how well you play your position. You know what I'm saying? In a nutshell, yeah, there are more responsibilities in these roles, but if you are good at the role and you practice, don't be like, B&E is so lame. We've been running it since A, B, and C. It's all about playing DC. You know what I'm saying? You gotta realize this is much more than just like, some game we've been playing for 15 years. You know what I'm saying? For example, like, when people go into USR spans, like, why do we do all these fucking raids? But USR is the best source mark thing. This game is more like a system. It's a code we play. You know what I'm saying? It's like what's a good word for this? It's like it's like a hive mind type deal. Like we know as players where to go to get the best out of this. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not that we don't want to play omnibus or whatever, as like, or it's just like there's just no need when you're at a certain level of play. You know what I'm saying? So controllers is that in a nutshell. Like, and also you can build controllers. You can actually battle troll low key. You can actually make that shit work. They can have the most intricate art setups. You know what I'm saying? There is no wrong answer for a troll. One time, I think I was what was I was what troll was I? I would say quantum. I'm not sure, but when I was trolling, I was debuff power troll, and I was trolling for a top league at the time, and then they say, "Yo, what's your build?" You know what I'm saying? And I was like, it was a debuff power troll, and he was like, "That's interesting sauce." This is when CTE was out. They said that was interesting sauce, as in like they never seen it before. So when we went in, my whole precipice was as I debuff, I give out hella power. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was lacking on power. Everybody was debuffed. I didn't buff anybody, but at the same time, for some reason, I just like like being like a playmaker. You know what I'm saying? Everything is debuffed to a certain extent. Really beyond like everybody was it was just fun debuffing everything. Like you never really see how much important that is. And honestly, in other games, if you play MOBAs and stuff, you'll realize how important debuffing is. It's almost the same as a buff. If you debuff someone's defense more than 50%, and somebody is still using, I guess, base crit, base whatever, you're still hitting hard as if you're buffed. Just because you're buffed doesn't mean that, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're gonna be doing more. I mean, of course it says the word buff, but having a debuff on a natural enemy and you're already above level, like above standard, like you'll be surprised how hard you hit. So I just enjoy, like just giving people power to use like the most out of their kit and debuffing them. You realize shit does melt just as much as they are buffed, you know what I mean? So I mean, the only reason why you would like not only reason why you would buff, of course, to like give might and stuff, but like you know how lasso works. The more might you have, the more damage it does. Like you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's cool. I mean, if you're gonna focus on those statistics, you know what I'm saying, then that's a DPS thing. It's all standard. If anything, you help the group. I'm able to focus, well, just with that build, debuffing and power trolling, focusing on that, I was able to do more pickups and more mechanics. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to pop out my weapon buff to buff the group or whatever every so seconds, make sure the buff is there. It was just easy just to debuff enemies, pop a supercharged shield, give power, give debuffs, giving more power as I debuff. It was just fun to play that way, you know what I'm saying? So because I know a lot of people, y'all know me, I'm Iron Mad. I'm addicted to different. I'm always doing shit different, but it still works at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I build a lot of controversy this way. But that is just trolling. And honestly, I'm building my troll. I'm building an alt troll. I don't want to have to troll on holidays. I'd rather keep her as a healer. But whenever that is, the most sauce trolling is so fun because you're able to. There's no wrong answers. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, with allies, have your allies complement your arts. That's all I'm gonna say. There shouldn't have to be a big discussion on like what to do or whatever. Don't get something that does this and your arch does that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like now you have to make your kit complement both of them. You know what I'm saying? Don't create more work for yourself. Have it pinned down and have all the new updates and releases kind of add to what you can do. Even if you want to squeeze something in there, anything can work. It's all about repetition and runs. You got people who literally run through these raids and stuff doing the same thing, the same OP thing, and it's not going to be like that forever. If you want to beat that specific player, then build your build to beat that specific player, because there's going to be so many different there was someone in Discord and it was like this is why I like running with pugs and stuff, because she was fucking them up, and they were good pugs. I mean, it was like, when I say pugs, I mean like random, like LFG. It wasn't like an orchestrated group or anything with just like people that, you know what I'm saying. But like it was cool. It was just cool to see like there is a difference in what you do. Just because you're running with all these high end people does not mean that you're not doing anything. Like you know what I'm saying. It's like I don't know. That's the code you got to crack. And once you crack it, you just know a lot more knowledge. But yo, whew. Let's get on to healing, bro. The role that I've been, straight out of PvP, I was healing in PvP. Healing, in my opinion, is like your referees. They make sure that, it's a fair game, a fair play. You know what I'm saying? They are the overseers, And now with buff healing being introduced, you already got John Constantine, ally giving you 4% might. And now you got the Blue Lantern ring able to give more supercharge and more might with ELG. Healing is gonna be, people saying that healing is easy now. Healing is gonna be an important role and a little bit much more harder role. Only because these two trades, I mean, for me, I love healing with I love using two trades, period. I want to get to the point where I want to be so mastered with this game, with the controller, where it doesn't even bother me that I can put anything two trades, build it, and I've gotten better. Using these combo powers on two trades is no joke. You know what I'm saying? So with that new mix being added, like you're really gonna be making sure people got ELGs, shields, heals. You know what I'm saying? Healers don't really pick up much people. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it's like their job is to make sure that it's a fair game, fair like bosses and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now back in the day, there was an instant. Well, it kind of is. I mean, I do sometimes where you're supposed to lunge the boss. You know what I'm saying? The healer's role or whatever. That's what I mean by referees, like fair game and stuff like that. Just to make sure that's and you're supposed to fit in like for instance, if you know the troll is bad or your troll is dead, a good healer can heal without a troll. You know, it's like they're not spamming abilities and they're not worried. They know they can keep the group healed based off of their kit. You know what I'm saying? It got to a point where a lot of DC players kind of learned to conserve power. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a lot of stuff in this game to help you conserve power, like the way you spec and everything. But there was a point where, you know what I'm saying, trolls was not like how they were today, and you had to really slow down your kit. And you know, that's how, I mean, honestly, if you played through hella metas through DC, it's like you're really at peak. There's really not much to teach those people because, you know, they've been through almost every scenario that this game has to offer. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, healing in a nutshell is always going to be changing and revolutionary. People make sure they have a 10K. People scream for 10Ks. You know what I'm saying? If you're not 10K, you're not even considered a real healer, Loki, which is crazy to say. I mean, it depends on the group. If you are an LFG person, you queue LFG, no one's gonna scream about a 10K. You know, you can full heal, you can have fun. But if you're trying to get that max gear, you know, and there was a controversy the other day. I dropped the video. You know, of course, I know I was talking about OP pieces, but in game chat, people was watching it at the same time I was promoting it, and they was like, "Is OP pieces really important?" And honestly, and this is a side note, y'all, OP pieces is the one gear in the game that gives you the most stats of every stat available. So people saying just get one. I don't know if y'all just came back, but if you get, that was my kid, y'all. If you get two, if you have two, bro, like you're good for a whole DLC. And then when you get the next two, you're at the peak of that DLC. You know what I'm saying? You are in front line for the next DLC. It saves time. It is easy to get the gear y'all are talking about. The fucking elite gear. You know how many runs you're doing to get the OP pieces? You know how much, you know, it's better to grind for that because when you're done grinding for it, you will have everything you need to get with it. And then they drop 3 times the marks. So now, like, bruh, y'all can listen. Y'all can listen. Y'all won't. But you know what I'm saying? I just know whenever there was one DLC that came out, I think it was the CTE DLC. I was max level within a week, and people was like, "How?" Because I was fully prepared that DLC. You know what I'm saying? People was asking me for stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was like low key on solo dolo time. You know what I'm saying? And I was just selling everything. So I'm trying to put y'all in that position so that way y'all can have fun to even retain the information about like roles and realize that, you know, I'm really in a position where I can choose any route in DC I want to go. You know, you get to pick the player that you want to pick for yourself, bro. Real shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just with, you know, the roles I kind of explained so far. Like, you know, depending on what you want to do, bro, you know, it should pick the, you know, and then the powers, you know, like, you know, let me go. I would talk on trolling a bit, but honestly, I've only been like 2 trolling powers. I mean, I've been those powers for DPSing, but you know what I'm saying? Until I touch everything, like I have, I've never been mental. Like, you know, I've been mental, I think back in 2000 and shit, like 2015, briefly. I just didn't like everything. Just looks like a beam. You know what I'm saying? Everything just looks like a whatever, you know. But I mean, I could get into like how the powers like kind of complement the roles and stuff like that. But like honestly, that's it's good to leave a little bit of mystery and optimism, you know, when you're picking something, you know. So you can always change in game, you know what I'm saying, but like just the roles, the fact that that power is in that role should make you more excited than what the power actually is, you know what I'm saying. Like realizing that rage is a tank, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and then I just explain like how important that is for the game. I think that's more, you know what I'm saying. But let's get to DPSs. DPSs is a universal thing. Every power can DPS. You know what I'm saying? The DPSs determine the time, of course, and in which you're being in the raid. If you have low burn DPSs, like I said, you're dealing with more mechanics, dealing with more pickups, dealing with more stuff. If you got DPSs who know how to be versatile, mobile, who know their kit, and that's all they do, I mean, honestly, bro, those are your best farm groups. You know what I'm saying? The way you build DPS, honestly, it should all feel like synergy. You shouldn't be doing too much to get damage off. You know, if anything, it's all. I mean, practicing a rotation does take time, y'all. Just because you're watching something on YouTube and you're trying to, which is good. Get a good idea of what you want to do, but definitely move some shit around. You know what I'm saying? Have some stuff that make like breakout trinkets to make you do something that you're just fucking up on individually. You have to build your own kit, bro. And when I say kit, I mean like putting your supply drops in there, your orbitals at this time, your powers at this time, your clip at this time. It's your kit, bro. Now in PvP, we have a thing where like someone burns their whole kit, like you know what I'm saying, like they plan to do big damage when they're PvPing in this certain area, and you can see it. You can see all the clips. You can see all the shit. Sometimes in Legends they be glitching character, like like some people really exploit that. If you can exploit, in PvE you use everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything to your exploit. Like you gotta know when Omega's coming up. When it's on gold. You gotta know even with these two trades. As you can see, my Omega and my Neurons isn't even on the same trade. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I gotta somehow subconsciously know that. And look, these two abilities, at the beginning, they build neurons real quick. So like whenever I am in this tree doing this, you know what I'm saying, I know that's ready. I can come, then I come here and I burn my kit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, honestly, someone asked me if they wanted some Celestial gameplay. I got some for y'all. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just putting a video together. Like Celestial is my baby, bro. I really do enjoy it. And if I'm gonna do something, I want to do it like really right. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, with DPS is all, and honestly, it's the most competitive lane to even be in because if you're not doing damage or something like that, people have something to say like almost instantly. Even whether you don't hear it, it's in probably a league's voice chat. Even if it's one person in your league, someone's talking shit, bro. Like always, you know what I'm saying? So, DPS is a role you got to be humble in because, you know, if you're a DPS trying to help other DPSs get better, then kudos to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you're a DPS who's gloating on damage and all this stuff, and you have this capability over somebody, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I don't know where your position is in the DC community. It's good to be competitive. I mean, people talking shit. It's shit. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? You better, that's why you practicing to be better at DPS, to hold your shit, to be able to hold your feet. No one can, even if you're not top, even people know that you are a good DPS, bro, and they know about you, bro. It's like you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's like boxing or UFC type deal. Like, even if you're in a raid, I mean, and honestly, being competitive as a DPS helps the whole team because you're able to, you should be focused on damage. Like, you know what I'm saying? You should be focused on damage, bro. And if you're trying to out DPS somebody, you know what I'm saying? Low key, that's good for y'all because y'all getting through this shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as you can see, there's speed runs out there that's like 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and stuff. All because of like, probably some competitive shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to die. Everything is being taken into account to DPS. You know what I'm saying? So if you're thinking that way, it is low key helping you out in the long run. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's really like, there's battle healing, battle trolling, battle, all that stuff. It's coming more and more into the game. Like, you got a DPS and a healer arc that's coming out. I wonder what that's gonna be like. If there's any changes last minute, I don't know what that means. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna judge anyone who's building anything. A lot of people got a lot of questions about arts and all that stuff. And I was like, if you understood your role better, you understood like how you want to build your role. You know what I'm saying? On how you want to survive. Like right now, what's a new thing for tanks is Cersei's mask and pages. You know what I'm saying? Cersei's mask, pages, and every man is actually like the combo. As your health goes down, every man gives you more defense. You know what I'm saying? Cersei's mask on the when it breaks a shield with all these shields being added to the game, 30% more health, and pages give you 30% more health. So that's 60% more health on just basic healing abilities. And if your health is going down by pages, you get more defense, but it's not. And you're being over 10%, and you have all these shields to stop pages. So those three is like, if you're gonna create a dent and you want to survive, if you wanted to battle tank and put stuff in those other areas, those three is, what I'm saying? I mean, some people are really not even using scrap as a tank, but some people use dash attack, but it's just a 2.5. So I mean, you have two trades, you can build anything. Like I said about kits, bro, if you understood your kit, you can understand what you want to build and you actually have fun with it. That's not even, I do that tank setup on my earth tank, who was tanking B&E at like 472. I think Niwa, it was Niwa's group. He was streaming for like 16 hours, and he let me tank for like, you know, hella runs. It was a good group, you know what I'm saying? But I had that set up, and you know, it was like my little pug was getting through that bit. You know what I'm saying? But look, that is the end of this video, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I want y'all to like kind of melt. If y'all got anything in the comments, bro, like please, bro, like add to the discussion on what you think a healer DPS troll is. You know what I'm saying? Make it simple, because I want people to look through this and, you know, kind of realize something. And, you know, I want them to pick their power a little bit more, you know, with more creativity. You know what I'm saying? If you got a question for me directly or my community, bro, join the Discord. I'm telling you, bro, mind melding. Everyone who's joined recently, bro, appreciate y'all for joining. As y'all can see, like someone is always there. It's almost like a live chat system. You know what I'm saying? Because people's in Europe, people's in whatever the fuck. You know, someone's always up at that time of the day and they ready to, you know, just talk about DC, which I do enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe if you like content like this. I ain't gonna lie, bro. There's a lot more coming, bro. You know, these come easy, bro. You know, we're in a peak era of DC. So, you know what I'm saying? There's gonna be a lot more shit dropping, bro. You know, we are probably the most consistent, you know what I'm saying, since I think 3 or 4 months, bro. Like 4 uploads a week, you know what I'm saying? And just over topics, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know how to play this game. Whenever I play this game or upload a league thing, you know, I be uploading that shit, bro, that raw shit, like league chats and shit. People might be talking shit to me. I don't be trying to sugarcoat nothing, bro. You know what I'm saying? If I got some shit to say, I say it. Fucking mean. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but yo, I'm not gonna talk too long, you know what I'm saying? It's early, it's Sunday, it's 2:46 p.m., bro. I got this kid and it's after I just woke up, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I'm gonna edit this video. Y'all be easy, bro. Tomorrow is, well, actually, I'm not gonna say what tomorrow is because, you know, I'm just making videos at this point. This shit is fun to talk about just because people are coming back to the game, bro, to be honest. It just brings a new light, you know what I'm saying? But yo, be easy. Holidays, I'm mad out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Talk to you.
Iron Man makes hits. Go stream his music.